Hello, everybody. Welcome to HG Movie Talk, where I am joined here today with my co-host, Dean's Beans. Say hello, Dean's Beans.
Hello, Dean's Beans.
Good job. Oh, and I'm Fluffy Duffy or Harlan Duffy, whichever one. I forgot to say hello because this is the second time I've done this introduction because Dean is an imbecile.
Wow. No, I was going to say, I always forget whether you're Harlan Duffy or Harlan Duff.
Really? That's the beer from Simpsons.
No, but I know people. I'm friends with somebody whose last name is Duff and someone whose last name is Duffy. And then so I know they're both names.
Well, one of those people sounds really cool. The other one, not so much.
Wow. I won't tell them. I don't think they're that bothered, to be fair. Anyway, this is The Silver Lining. Do you want to tell us what that is?
So the silver lining is where we take a bad movie, we look at the good, then we look at the bad, and then we try to make the best possible movie out of what we are given.
Yes. And today we're talking about a new movie for the first time.
Yeah.
Relatively new, I suppose. And that is He's All That.
With Addison Rae, the TikTok sensation. Other than us.
Yeah, I was going to say, when are we getting our movie?
Yeah.
Okay, before we start talking about this movie, I just came up with this on the spot. If you were like, oh, you're going to star in a remake of a classic movie, but it's going to be about TikToks, what movie are you choosing? And who would I play in this movie?
I think Independence Day would be amazing. You made a remake with Independence Day, but it was just TikTok stars. And then, obviously, you would be Jeff Goldblum.
That is the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. I was thinking about like Saw and just get all the TikTok stars.
Oh, nice.
I'd enjoy watching that. And I'd be Jigsaw.
Oh, obviously. Wow, you want to stop? Isn't that more like 90s? I guess that's old.
Yeah,
I guess Independence Day was 90s too.
When He's All That came out, neither of us have seen it. We did just discuss this.
No, it's She's All That. That's what.
Sorry, yeah. He's All That. She's. Oh, it's confusing. Okay, She's All That is 1999. Nice. I've seen this dumb poster for this movie so many dumb times.
Yeah, it's never ever been like enticed to watch it.
No. It might be a good movie. I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying this one's bad. That's what I'm categorically saying. But talking about this movie, I've got a little surprise for you to spring on you. And that's can you give us a plot summary of this movie, please?
Oh, a plot summary of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So basically, Addison Rae, her character is named
Madison Bay.
No, her name is what the hell?
I'm gonna look this up. I didn't know. I just thought of her. In all my notes, I've just written her name as Addison.
No, her name's like Badgett, right?
Oh no, it's like starts with a P.
Paget. It's Paget.
Yeah, and then she's got a really dumb Instagram name.
Right, and so her name is Paget, and she is cheated on by her boyfriend, and then has to deal with all the social ramifications of being a social media star and getting cheated on, which is losing all your sponsorships and all of your followers. That's how it goes. And then she makes a bet to make the loser in high school the prom king.
Yeah, that's it. And does she succeed? Who knows?
Well, I mean, we might have spoilers for He's All That for all you diehard Addison Rae fans that haven't seen the movie yet.
Who still haven't seen this movie, which is free on Netflix.
He does not become prom king.
But is that what they should have really been going for all along? I would argue yes.
Yes, obviously.
Because if this movie has taught me anything, that your outward appearance is vitally important.
And I love that, like, the whole bet of this movie, like the thing that everything is riding on is if Addison Rae has to get a tattoo.
Yeah, but it's a pretty bad tattoo, to be honest.
It's a terrible tattoo. This says.
Do you think diehard Addison Rae fans are going to get that tattoo now?
Oh, I hope they do.
just to show solidarity with her character in He's All That.
Dude, when I look up the cast and He's All That. Oh wait, hold on.
I've got some fun facts for you about this movie.
Okay, give me some fun facts. Give me some fun facts.
So this first one is definitely not a fun fact. That they closed down a COVID testing center for one day to film this movie, and over 500 people had to reschedule their tests.
Oh my God.
And I believe it's the scene in the bus, in the train station where they go to take photos.
Wow, they closed it down for. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. There's the two remaining cast members. So Addison Rae's mum in this was the girl in She's All That. Who was then She's All Thatted.
I see.
But obviously they're playing different characters. And then the other returning cast member is Matthew Millard, who plays the principal.
Yes.
And he's the perpetrator of the He's All Thatting.
I see.
And speaking of him, he was on set for this movie. For how long do you think it took him to film all his scenes?
Oh, 20 minutes.
Half an hour.
Ooh, I was close.
Yeah, and the school they filmed in is the same school as in He's All That, She's All That.
Wow, they are very I appreciate how I know I can't say anything about this movie. I was gonna say they're sticking to the source material. How about that?
And well, they've got the same writer as well, actually. Both movies were written by the same bloke.
Man, what a poor dude. Poor dude.
And if you look at the director for this has directed good movies which are trying to be similar, which this movie is trying to be like. The director of this directed Mean Girls and Freaky Friday.
Oh, I love Mean Girls, so.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mean Girls?
He's also directed He's All That. He's also directed the Spiderwick Chronicles, which I quite like.
That's just one movie though, right?
Yes.
I remember that movie. I think I had at least a couple nightmares from that movie, Spiderwick Chronicles.
You're gonna get more from this one, mate. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. Bingo. Do
we start talking about the bad or do we start talking about the good?
I think let's talk about the good. Let's start optimistically. Maybe they'll make this easier.
The first note I have here is sometimes self-aware about how dumb Addison Rae is.
Yeah. Kind of.
No, that's a fair, because sometimes it is. I think the movie wants to be, but it's like, Addison Rae, stop being so conceited, but then there's issues with that later on in the movie. I think
they do a good job of being like, there's definitely a message to this movie.
Yeah, but no, talk about that for the bad. I'm gonna make a note to talk about that in the bad. Okay. What do you want to say in this movie that's good?
I really like Matthew Millard.
Yeah,
I thought he was pretty funny in this.
I'd agree with that. I like his dancing. The other thing I would add is the random grandma I really enjoyed.
Oh, what were they watching? The Blue
something like that.
Something like that. That was fun. I also thought maybe it was just because Addison Rae was so bad. But I thought Tanner Buchanan, who plays the love interest,
the He's All That in that.
Yeah, the He's All That guy. I thought he was okay.
He was all thatted.
Yes, he was. Yes, good job, Dean. I thought he was okay in parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say one scene which I think genuinely works to an extent in this movie is the karaoke scene.
You thought that worked?
I quite like it when he comes up and starts singing. I think that's a cool concept for a bonding moment.
See, me and my girlfriend, we watched the first half of this movie together, and right when that happened, we both went, "Oh my god!" and we turned around because we were cringing so hard.
But you're supposed to cringe. So the movie is succeeding, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. But we started cringing because he started singing, and Well, we were cringing when Addison Rae was dancing up there alone, even when she was doing
Oh no,
quote
that was
unquote
pretty
good.
shocking as well, and it was like slightly auto-tuned.
Yeah. I didn't like that scene. The entire scene I did. Oh, your sprite looks different than ours.
No, this is a mini one.
It's still ours is like we don't usually have any yellow in ours.
Do you not? The lemon represents the yellow.
Yeah, I got
No,
it.
the yellow. Sorry for those listening. I just pulled out a tiny Sprite can, and I'm now showing it.
Mini sprite. Okay.
We just don't want to talk about this movie. I think the issue is.
Yeah, we're like, oh, let's look at Sprite cans. What are they up to?
I used to have a known for having a thing for Sprite. Like I've owned like 4 Sprite t-shirts in my life.
Hasn't one been on the podcast?
Probably. This is the conversation we've had when I've said they follow me on Instagram. I
Yeah.
was the 3rd person they followed on Instagram, but they've blocked me on Twitter.
They blocked you. What did you do?
I think our agreement means I can't talk about that publicly. So another good thing I wrote down. This is barely a good thing, but do you know? So her boyfriend at the start cheated on him with someone called Aniston. Correct. And every time they said Aniston, I thought they said Addison, and I thought they were insulting Addison Rae. So I wrote that down as a good thing.
But then you realized it wasn't.
No, but there'd be a split second where I'm like, yeah, she is like shallow.
Oh,
we know nothing about Addison Rae.
No, we're not on that side of TikTok. Also, I just remember one thing, that like fight scene with like the he's all thatted man and what was his name, Jordan.
Yeah,
I thought that was good. That moment I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit too like actually like good. Do you know what I mean? With him being like kind of like I was gonna say Shang-Chiing, but I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I mean, he is like one of the main characters in the new Karate Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Another good thing I wrote down is Jeans Beans. I don't know if you noticed this, but in the train station.
Oh, I did notice that. Yeah.
The
so
coffee
close
thing is called Jeans Beans. And I was like, nice. Imagine if it was called Dean's Beans. Do you think people would be like, they're referencing?
Oh my gosh, he's a sponsor for this movie.
I'd be in this movie. If you got like a phone call from Addison Rae, Kourtney Kardashian style, being like, do you want to be in this movie? You'd go, yeah, wouldn't you?
Yes, immediately. Like without it, like hesitation.
But then would you insult this movie?
Yes.
On your point. What if Addison Rae is just trying to he's all that you?
Cool.
I'm just going to keep using that as a verb because I think it's very funny.
All right. Okay, do you have anything more to say about the good parts of this movie? Because
This is a small thing, and then a genuine thing this time instead of my last 2, which have been a bit, So I like the transitions during Addison's breakdown when she finds out her boyfriend's cheating on her, when it like switches between other people watching the feed.
Oh, wow! An actual appreciation of this film.
Yeah, I was like, that's competent.
There are a couple competent parts in this movie.
I also like the fat kid who ran for prom king.
Oh, dude, I love that guy. Go him, right?
He should have been all thatted.
Yeah. Why didn't they he's all that him?
Because he wasn't already conventionally attractive.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We gotta save that for the bad.
Should we just start talking about the bad?
Wait, there's one more thing.
Okay.
The whole like salon scene where like Addison Rae like fixed up him.
Oh yeah. These two did have some genuine chemistry at parts of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. I can't talk anymore good about this movie.
Okay, bad. Well, my first bad thing is very simple. Okay, any guesses? What it's 2 words. Any guesses on what it is?
Let me guess.
Okay.
I don't know if this will be it, but if it is, it would be very, very funny. Product placement.
That's further down on my list. So that's a pretty good guess.
I thought that was a good guess.
It's actually Addison Rae.
Oh. Well, joke's on you. That's actually the first one on my list too.
Is it Addison Rae?
Yep, just Addison Rae.
I'm sure we probably just thought this at the same time in the opening of the movie when she's all like, oh, and I like this skincare product.
Yeah. Bad Addison Rae. Just right there out the gate.
Should I start like posting stuff like that, do you think?
Some TikTok dances or like some like makeup reviews? Yeah.
Yeah. No skincare product reviews specifically.
Oh, skincare products. Yeah, sure.
Should I just do one? Should I just do one and then never do it again and see what people think? Are they like, is this guy sponsored?
But
No,
you're
I'm
not allowed to
gonna be
like comment or like do anything.
Yeah. Just never refer to it again. And I'll be like, and I'll proper like, I was about to say I'll proper he's all at it. Doesn't make sense. Okay. Do you want to talk about the product placement?
Well, let's touch on Addison Rae a little bit more. I'm sure she took like a bunch of acting classes for this and like really tried her hardest. Like she had to have. But she's just bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't want to say like assumptions I have made about Addison Rae after knowing literally nothing about her. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, say your assumptions would just make it clear that they're assumptions.
I just feel like she's the kind of person who'd be like, yeah, I can do this, you know?
Maybe not. We don't know her, but it kind of
I
seems
just
like
Googled
that.
Addison Rae to see if I could glean any more information about her. And the first thing that came up, okay, brace yourself for this, okay? Make sure you're sitting down before I tell you this. Addison Rae inks multi-picture deal with Netflix after He's All That acting debut.
But she's terrible. Oh, this is recent. This is 3 hours ago on Variety.
Oh my. We are like on the cutting edge of this as of time of recording.
And I also see a picture of just her and Kourtney Kardashian laying together in a pool.
Oh, okay. And what do we actually want to say about Addison Rae?
She's not good in this movie. Any type of emotion that she tries to evoke just doesn't go through.
Unless it's like
smiling.
I was gonna say like what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very obvious emotion, but it's a bad one. Like kind of bragginess.
Oh. Yeah, like it's snotty, like
snotty. Yeah, that's it. That works.
Okay.
Which, maybe this is where I'm getting my assumption from. Just the character she plays in this movie, that she's very good at portraying those emotions.
Yeah. So Addison Rae is no good. I mean, I understand why they chose her to be in the role because she's a huge TikTok star. But it didn't work.
Yeah, I guess this movie wouldn't have been anything if she wasn't in it.
Right. Nobody would have watched it.
I feel like now Netflix signing this deal kind of confirms the fact that they're like, yeah, she's not going to be very good, but it's going to be worth our money.
Exactly. That's how
what they need to do is they need to He's All That her into a good actress.
If only there was a way like somebody could like go somewhere where they could learn how to do something. Like
she hasn't been to school in years. I mean, apart from the fact that she's 20, but
okay, do you have anything else to say about Addison Rae?
It will come up in the conversation, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. So before we get into anything else, I want to talk about the wig that Tanner Buchanan wears
at the start. Yeah.
You can just tell it's a wig.
Yeah, it's mostly because of hats as well, I think.
Right.
Like you barely see the long hair without hat.
And that brings up my other point that we kind of briefly mentioned earlier on in the podcast.
Is that he is an attractive man.
Yeah. The only bad thing about him is that he is like awkward and doesn't like to talk to people. And guess what? That doesn't change at the end of the movie.
All that changes is that he has a haircut. Even like when he's not in a suit, the clothes he wears are the same. Do you know what I mean? Like when he
Yeah, and
comes to school the next day, he's still in like jeans and a plaid shirt. Which is also isn't like a bad outfit choice. He's wearing exactly the same thing.
and don't forget he had a little bit of scruff, which is
Yeah.
not attractive at all. If you have facial hair,
So he shaved
disgusting.
and had a haircut, and that's all. That's all. That's how you get thatted.
Yeah, that's how you get he's all thatted.
Sorry, just something about that makes me laugh.
Yeah, so the casting in this movie is just it's they didn't want it to be good. They weren't when they made this movie, they weren't like, you know what we should look at for this movie? The Godfather. No, they weren't like that. They just knew what this movie was, and they're like, all right, what are the most attractive stars we can cast in this?
Yeah.
Like, it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
It only cost $20 million. So,
I mean,
like, of
yeah.
course they're going, yeah, let's bring more people in. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
When you compare that to like to Suicide Squad or Phantom Menace, which are bad movies we've talked about in the past,
those were actually trying to be something,
Yeah.
and they fell on their
and
face.
even like Fant4Stick made money. So kind of by sitting here and talking about it, we're giving them what they want.
Right. Like they basically what they were going for, they stick the landing. A 12-year-old girl is gonna love this movie.
Oh no, while watching this movie, I checked out Addison Rae's TikTok just to kind of, figure her out. And I scrolled down, and one of her more recent TikToks is promoting this movie. And like every single comment I read was, "Oh, this is the best movie I've ever seen," and Addison Rae, you're amazing in it. And I'm just like, wow, people aren't. I feel like people like us would go out of our way to go and comment on her TikToks about how we don't like it.
This movie is bad.
I'm gonna do it right now. No, I'm
not. Okay, so with you looking at her TikTok, that brings up another point that I want to make.
Okay.
The dancing in this movie,
Oh.
the TikTok dances in this movie are awful. The two things that stick out to me the most are one where she's singing up there, singing along to Katy Perry.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even remember the song.
And then the final dance off.
And the issue with the dance number at the end is like the movie has built like somewhat a bit of tension with what happened with Tanner, but we all knew that was going to happen anyway. But that's not the point.
Right.
So it built up a bit of tension there, and then they went, let's just like break all this tension with a bit of a boogie.
I mean, it was a good boogie.
Watch Addison Rae twerk and get our minds off things.
But it brings you out of the movie completely. It's like,
it
wait,
does.
What? And how was this not mentioned at all? Like, oh, like that dance off everybody does at prom?
It's like nobody the Holmes and Watson musical number. Maybe it's not that bad actually, but it's.
Sorry, you gave me I had a flashback. You can't do that to me, Dean.
That musical number is the worst thing that's happened in any of these movies we've watched for this. Anyway, let's talk about this movie. I've got a bad thing to say.
What's your bad thing?
This is a bit of a small one. Whenever we see Addison filming her TikToks, for whatever reason, half the time, what she is moving is in like out of sync with what's happening on her phone by like a second. And I found that upsetting.
You know what? At least there's been a lot of movies by like social media stars that are on a like social media app that doesn't exist.
Yeah. But
so
you were complaining about product placement.
Oh yeah. And that, I guess that brings us into the next part. I want to go over all the things that I saw.
Can I name one I saw first?
Yes.
Literally everyone, apart from the he's all thatted, I don't remember his name, had exactly the same iPhone. Every character.
Did they really?
Had the same iPhone. Different colors of the same phone.
Oh, yeah. They were definitely sponsored by Apple.
Yeah.
There was a MacBook in the opening shot of the
Yeah.
movie as well.
Yeah, no, I noticed that she put down her iPhone and then pulled out her brand new rose gold MacBook.
All right, here's what we got. We got Aloe, Eos, something called Ilia Beauty. Then we got Pepsi, Mug Root Beer, Lucky Charms. Oh, do you remember that Lucky
Oh yeah,
Charms
Lucky
part?
Charms. Oh, I forgot about the tasty mushrooms.
Did you say mushrooms?
Wait, marshmallows.
Jesus Christ. The tasty mushrooms in my Lucky Charms. Anyways, we also got Pizza Hut and KFC.
Oh yeah, there was a very weird Pizza Hut moment. I remember that. Do you remember that?
Yes.
When she went, and what was the line specifically? She went something like, "Oh, let's eat. Let me order some Pizza Hut."
And then right before the scene ends, she's like, "Can I take this KFC bucket home?" Like, sure. Oh, and then instead of saying like, "Hey, my headphones," Tanner's sister went, "Hey, my bows."
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then there was an Old Navy shopping spree, Bounty paper towels.
How can what paper towel brand is being like, oh yeah, this is going to look really good for us if we're in Addison Rae's new movie?
But for some reason, do you remember Bunny Venom? How they were like
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Bunny Venom? That isn't a real company.
But they're kind of portrayed as villainous, aren't they?
I guess so.
Or are they? Who knows? Okay. Now you talking about all this corporate sponsorship stuff does bring me on to my next complaint, which is kind of about how the message of the movie is, oh yeah, you shouldn't be going after corporate sponsorships and getting lots of followers. That isn't what you're focusing on. And that's a bit, as Addison Rae would say, that's a bit problematic for my followers for two reasons. Number one, this movie has so much sponsorship in it. And then like, oh, you shouldn't focus on sponsorship. And number two, it's a movie about Addison Rae, who I'm sure has made hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in corporate sponsorships, and she's going, no, you shouldn't focus on that, and you shouldn't focus on how many followers you've got. Anyway, go follow my TikTok after watching this movie and go buy all these brands I support.
I would say she's made millions of dollars.
Yeah, no,
hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I'm with you there. Guys, don't worry. You don't have to be like me. Don't sell out, even though I'm doing this movie.
You're so right. The message of the movie is to not sell out. And she is like, yeah, she's already sold out. Okay. That's my issue with the message with this movie that we were talking about. And another issue I have, which is, I don't understand why they've added this to the movie. Why does her mum have such a hard life?
They don't need it. I mean, I guess but they never I guess they kind of bring her mom in at the end, but it's not what the movie's about.
It kind
It
of
doesn't make
ruins it
sense.
for Addison as well, because Addison's like, oh, her mum comes home. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry your boyfriend doesn't like you. And I'm after you were so rude to him, and I'm sorry that your prom isn't going to plan anyway. I just got off my shift where 2 people had a heart attack and blah blah blah.
2 people had a heart attack. What didn't a toddler shove something up their nostril?
Yeah. Well, it's just a weird addition. I'm like, why are you making her life so difficult, and then focusing the entire movie on how tricky Addison Rae is going through after she would just completely dicked over a guy.
I don't know. This movie has so many weird things. One other weird thing is how I don't even remember the guy's name. The guy that got He's All Thatted. I'm just saying Tanner because that's his real life name.
Yeah, should I look? He is called Cameron.
Oh, Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Do you remember when the announcer said that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is it's just
guy
Cameron
who did the She's All Thatting in the previous movie.
Oh, was that Matthew Lillard? Was that him over the loudspeaker?
The principal is
which didn't work. That did not work.
The jokes on the he worked when he was actually in the building.
Right. But nobody is that unprofessional on a I don't know if that's a thing in Britain where you have that.
We don't have intercoms, no.
You guys don't have intercoms?
No.
Well, it's much more professional. Like nobody like messes around on those at all.
I can
So like
imagine.
that isn't a thing. Um, one other weird thing is how Cameroon's character like rode horseback to the prom.
Oh, no, but like, why did he? Because he drove the horse there, took the horse out of the trailer, rode it to the other side of the field, waited for Addison Rae to leave the prom, rode towards her, and then goes, "Oh, I just drove my horse here," and pointed at it, gets off the horse. The horse isn't looked at or mentioned for the rest of the scene. He doesn't even take like Addison on a horse ride. The horse just stands there while they dance.
And okay, speaking of the horses, why did this character need two things?
What's the first? Oh, the photography.
The photography, which is a huge part, and the
Yeah.
horses, arguably, that doesn't need to be a thing.
No, that's a good point.
They could have just cut that out of the movie and made it easier for us to watch.
Made it even shorter.
Yeah. Could have done us a favor.
That's very true. Okay, I would like to complain about the amount of Kourtney Kardashian in this.
Dude, why was she in this?
Like when it was just the one scene, I'm like, I'm kind of happy with that. Like, I get why people would want her in this movie, and I'm happy with that brief appearance. But she just kept coming back.
Yeah, and like it was like so unannounced. I'm like, oh, it's and why couldn't they just call her Kourtney Kardashian? Like that would have been awesome. Would it not have been?
But she's like the villain of the movie.
Right, but like there doesn't need to be a villain at all.
Yeah.
Because
Apart
really
from
not
her
important.
ex.
Anything else bad you need to mention?
Can we get into some more like nitpicky things I have here?
Yeah, what are some nitpicks you got?
Okay. There's a line where she goes, "That's really problematic for my followers," and that irked me. Do you know when there's the bit where he goes, "Oh, you call yourself a pacifist," and there's a montage. During that montage, he doesn't do anything violent at all. Like, he doesn't show being not a pacifist. He just insults some people and then they beat him up. Like, he's still a pacifist after that.
Any other nitpicks you have?
Just like really tame and weird teenage parties.
What, the KFC Pizza Hut party wasn't enough for you?
No, just it's specifically the Great Gatsby one where it is literally just everyone is just perfectly composed and being kind until the massive choreographed fight scene. People are just, standing around drinking their non-alcoholic drinks.
Oh yeah, her mocktail.
Oh yeah, mocktail.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, are you serious?
The thing is, she was holding something that looked alcoholic, and the director's like, "We need to point out that that's not alcoholic."
Yeah. Guys, hold on. We need to make sure. Obviously it's alcoholic, but we can't say it is.
Okay. This is another weird one, but it was just the bit where she knew exactly how many followers she had to the right number.
Oh my god. Okay, so this bothered me. This whole thing bothered me. I remember everything because I got confused by all of it. Okay, so it is said that her ex, Jordan, had 500,000 followers. So that is said.
Yeah, we have friends with that many followers. Anyway, continue.
Anyways, and then it says she said later when she's asked how many she has, she says 800,000. That's after she lost some. But then we get a flash, like how like in the movie we see how many she has is gaining.
Yeah,
she's easily at 900,000. And then throughout the movie, we get little flashes of it where she's literally gaining 1,000 followers a second, but she doesn't ever crack 1 million. Like, why don't they ever show her getting 1 million followers?
that's true. It was just the bit where she was like, "Oh, I have 895,322 followers," and I'm like, "Shut up, Addison Rae."
And then this brings me to my final point. In when Jordan's complaining about how Addison broke up with her, or broke up with him, she's and she left somebody for only 375,000. He has 500,000 followers. Isn't like that basically the same? It's pretty close. So like,
Yeah.
why is he like? I don't
No,
know.
but the thing about no, that was after he was like trying to film himself being sad, and that's what he says during the recording. Can you imagine watching someone famous being like, "Why did they break up with me? Cheat on me with someone who only has less followers than me?"
God, okay, that's something I needed to mention. And I'm so glad I did because it was all off. Like, why couldn't they just? I don't know, man.
Why couldn't they just have called her character Addison Rae?
Why couldn't everybody just be their actual names in this?
Also, like her whole thing is, it seems like she is just constantly live streaming everything, but only for like 60 seconds at a time.
Yeah, that's how we should do live. Just like
Just
like 30
put it on
seconds.
and be like, "Hey, I'm putting on this skincare product. I'm just gonna do one live like that." And then just
Yeah.
it will be a myth forever for the 30 people who get to see it.
um. Okay, that's definitely all I have.
Okay, I this isn't a thing. I just wrote down something that I wanted to actually ask you because it's something
What?
that I think about American people.
Oh no. Oh no.
How much are promposals a real thing?
Oh, they're definitely 100% a thing.
Have you ever done a promposal?
Yes.
Would you be willing to tell me what it was?
Yes. So it was actually kind of freaking awesome, my proposal. So it's my girlfriend that I have now,
Yeah,
and she really likes Jenna Marbles.
yeah,
You know who Jenna Marbles is?
yes, I do.
So I had it arranged, like my mom set it up so that when we got home, there was like a bunch of flowers, and then the promposal thing was, um, it said like, "Will you commit to prom?" Question mark. You know, it was Kermit, her dog Kermit. It was like pictures of her dog.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty. And Jenna Marbles, like my girlfriend posted it on her social media, and Jenna Marbles and her boyfriend liked the picture.
Extra points, Harlan.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
So
not like, yeah. Anyway, no, promposals are not a thing here, but prom isn't. No, prom is a thing.
so how do you get a date?
You just ask them.
I mean, that's essentially what that is, but just like with like a
Yeah.
poster.
But I've never asked someone to prom because my girlfriend's older than me. So,
Oh, haha,
and also I didn't have a prom because of coronavirus. So,
ha ha.
oh, at least I wasn't one of those 500 people who had their tests rescheduled because of Addison Rae.
Aha, idiots. Imagine being inconvenienced because of He's All That more than everybody else that watched it.
I wonder if like this movie has like potential to having killed someone.
Potentially. How'd he die? Addison Rae.
Anyway, I literally just thought of this, and I'm surprised I haven't thought of it sooner. Do you know what we need to do now?
What?
We need to He's All That this movie.
That is brilliant. We should change this to He's All Thatting. Like just like He's All That. That's what we
I'm gonna use it
rename
for the
this.
future weeks. We'll just be like, okay, now we need to He's All That this movie.
Okay. So how do we okay, I think
Cut the
first
hair.
of all, no Tanner Buchanan. We are He's All Thatting. What's his name?
The fat kid.
Yeah.
Do you mean? I don't know his name. I just know him as Fat Kid because, you know, I think he might be he's called Sebastian Wu. His character is
Sebastian Wu. Okay, so it's focused on Sebastian Wu.
This
right?
sounds more fun. I like this guy, and we forget about the app thing.
But the what?
The app thing.
Oh, the whole TikTok thing.
Oh no, of him being like, oh, he just made a gaming app and sold it for millions of.
Oh, sure. Okay, so we got Sebastian Wu instead of Tanner. No app thing. Okay. And then I think we keep the Jordan part of her like cheating
Yeah.
or whatever. Well,
can I suggest a more fundamental change of no Addison Rae?
Oh, no Addison Rae? Who we going with? Charlie D'Amelio? She probably said no to this.
I just think there's enough. I've seen the Disney Channel. There's enough competent, vaguely teenage female actresses.
So who we casting? Like Peyton Lee?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know who that is?
I mean, no offense, but I
that's
don't
not
think it needs any. It just needs just any actress. Do you know what I mean?
any.
But the key
So
there is actress,
any competent actress.
because there's nothing like. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't going to be. This will be a
And
quick paycheck.
and maybe instead of her being cheated on, maybe she cheats on him, and her damages and her reputation is like a thing of like her having to like.
But I don't know if that would make her just too unlikable though.
Maybe, but it doesn't make sense that she loses followers from being cheated on.
But I think that would work if you actually focused on it a little bit and you were like, hey, this is just the patriarchy of the woman always losing out and the woman being blamed. If you said something like that, or like phrased it in a way where it's like, hey, how come I'm being blamed for this? Because it's like not dwelled on at all. But if it's all like, if there's more of a thing of like, if there's a scene where the person who cheated on her is all like, hey, I didn't cheat on her, I'm the good guy here, blah, blah, blah.
So I said any competent actress and patriarchy causes her to lose followers.
Sexism.
All right. And then what else?
Where to start? Should we get rid of... Okay, I'm confused what to do here. Do we get rid of the subplot of her secretly being poor the entire time? Or do we change
I think that's just a part of her part of her character. So she's poor. That doesn't need to like be a huge reveal. She isn't wealthy.
It makes me think of the fact that Addison Rae living in the house makes me think of the first Space Jam movie where Michael Jordan lives in just a normal house.
It doesn't like... Nobody on TikTok is like, oh wait, this dancer's poor. Oh, I can't support her. So I think she isn't wealthy still, but it's not like a big part of the movie.
Yeah. There's just so much that I want to change.
Maybe.
Just reading my bad list. No horse.
Well, yeah. So I think Jimmy Woo, like instead of like being apps and photographers, just like technology and like computers and stuff.
Did you just call him Jimmy Woo? Harlan has left the building.
Damn it. Yeah, I called him Sebastian Woo. I called him Jimmy Woo.
Are you telling me Randall Park has been He's All That It?
Sorry, they're both last names is Woo. It's no fair. This is actually an MCU movie,
and this is the effect TikTok has had. This is what this movie should be about.
And then at the end, Paul Rudd shows up and he's like, Jimmy, I need you. And that's it.
Yeah, what's the end credit scene of He's All That? I didn't sit through the credits.
It's
Addison Rae being recruited by like Nick Fury, and Nick Fury's like, I've got a mission for you. You need to He's All That, our top priority.
Okay, how do we make this movie better?
I feel like we've fixed 90% of the problem by just getting rid of Addison Rae.
The dancing.
Yes.
No
more dancing.
Dance scenes. At all. None of them are in the movie. And I think it wouldn't make sense like that one. Less obnoxious ad placements.
Yes.
Listen, we understand people gotta get their money. It is what it is. But I mean, it's all over the movie. Worse than Jack and Jill.
Sorry, I'm on a list of the 250 worst rated letterboxed movies ever, and apparently He's All That is on this list.
Oh, what placement is this in?
I'm trying to have a look. Look, I haven't seen it on here. Maybe it's It's at number 183.
Oh, so it's not like number 5.
Oh, it's the 183rd worst movie ever. According to this, it's worse than Elf. No, sorry. Why did I say Elf? It's worse than Cats.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so let's go through this. The movie opens up. It is not Addison Rae. It is not Addison Rae on screen. She is cheated on. We keep that. That whole thing happens.
What do you think of the plot thing of her friend being like, "Oh yeah, I did this on purpose, so I could so I could she's all that myself."
Well, like it doesn't make sense because like her character's like does a total 180, but then they kind of address that in the movie, so it's like
yeah. Maybe just give us a clue earlier on.
If she's in there, I think Kourtney Kardashian can go. Like Kourtney Kardashian does not need to be in this movie, especially if you have less ad placements. So Kourtney Kardashian isn't in this movie. We really only need one antagonist. This movie does not need so many opposing forces.
Yes.
And then what else? So that's all that's in the movie. Boyfriend breaks up with her. Then she wants to find a new person to kind of like repair her reputation. She finds Sebastian Wu. That's the person that was chosen.
Jimmy Woo's son.
Jimmy Woo's son.
The movie ends. There's 2 end credit scenes. The first one is Nick Fury recruiting Addison Rae because there's like a super villain he needs to be. He's all thatted. And then the second one, which is quite normally a joke credit scene, it's Sebastian Wu being picked up by his uncle Jimmy.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna write down Randall Park. Okay, and then she learns to love Sebastian Wu. He is not put at prom king, but they are happily in love.
Yeah, but okay, you have actually upset me by mentioning in this movie the only way he was all thatted was by cutting his hair and shaving him. So what would you do differently in this movie?
Well, I would argue that he in this movie is not really he's all thatted, and it's kind of twists on his head and makes that not about the story, but it's about her kind of coming down to earth.
She's all thatted.
Because I feel like honestly in like today's age, it doesn't really need to be like.
No, I get that.
It's progressive.
So
what counts on the inside.
So can there be a line in this movie where Addison Rae's replacement goes, I guess I was the one that needed to be all thatted.
We cannot have that in this movie, Dean.
I can't tell, but I've kind of just lost all sense of conversation just by trying to use all that. I should just count how many times I say it in this episode.
You should have like a counter in the top right corner that goes ding.
Every time I say, he just got all thatted. This movie is getting all thatted right now. Anyway, I would improve this movie by not closing any COVID testing centers.
There you go. Maybe not having an unnecessary scene to close.
Yeah.
Because like it didn't need to be in the movie.
And also it could have been filmed anywhere.
Yes, it could have. It could have been at the park.
They could have done green screen.
No, they could not have.
Not on 20 million.
There was not that much skill put behind the making of this movie. I don't think
all the car stuff was green screened.
Was it?
Most car stuff is, yeah. And I only noticed this for about 10 seconds. I'm like, that's green screened. But most car things, it's rare for a movie to be non-green screened car.
I mean, that was fine. But if they had to do like a full 3D scene, I don't know.
Of him taking photos of an old Japanese man.
Hey.
No, the Japanese went, camera. What do you think it would sound like if he was Italian?
Hey, it's a pizza pie. Don't take a picture of me. It's a meatball. Hey, don't take a picture.
Mamma
Probably something
mia.
like that. Mamma mia. Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah. How would you improve scenes like the karaoke scene?
Hmm?
How would you improve scenes like the karaoke scene?
I don't think it worked in the sense of like it was just cringy. I didn't like it. It hurt me. I feel like maybe they could have done something that was, I mean, especially if you have Sebastian Wu coming out, maybe that would be like a little bit less cringy because he's such like a Sebastian Wu's like a goofball. It's like it would have been like funny to see him come on there. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You don't have him come on and be a good singer. You
No.
have him come on and try to be funny.
Right. And then they just have a good time.
Yeah. And that's the message of the movie. And then at the end, Addison Rae's replacement is a bit like, hey, that wasn't cool because I'm trying to look cool up there. And then at the end of the movie, she's all like, now I get it. Life isn't about having 837,329 TikTok followers. It's about having fun.
And then titles roll and people make money.
Oh.
I don't think that would have been better than what we got.
No, yeah, I think doing a comedic approach to that would have worked a lot better than her actually being like, oh, you're a good singer. Do you know what I mean? If he went up and he was like, haha, let's have a little joke.
I think that would have been way sweeter, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And like it would have been a good bonding bit as well.
So I think we did a pretty good job improving this movie.
We did a better job than she did with Tanner Buchanan.
Yes. He's all thatted the heck out of He's All That.
I kind of want to watch She's All That now.
I don't. Not at all. Not one bit. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
It's rated 2.9 on Letterboxd.
Oh wow.
Which is better than like the 1.2. She's All That is on. He's All That. Oh, it's so confusing.
Yeah, I don't even bother. I'm gonna call them both He's All That.
Why is just Addison Rae, if you're listening to this, which I assume you are?
Yeah, she's her and Willem Dafoe. They get together. They have a slumber party every Tuesday morning, and they just listen to this.
I was about to say, I feel like Addison Rae is the kind of person to Google her name and then just ignore all the stuff that insults her. But
have we given Addison Rae? She went out there and did her best.
Yeah,
she gave it her all.
There's got to be. I'm interested to know how much of this is a calculated move for her. Do you know what I mean? Do you think she realizes? Because obviously, like the producers realize, oh, this isn't going to be a good movie, but all her fans are going to lap it up. Do you think she knows that, or do you think she's so self-centered that she's like, oh, I'm going to make a movie and?
I'm gonna go a little bit of both. I'm gonna go. She wanted to because she knew it was a smart move for her career, but also she wanted to do the best job she could.
Yeah, but to be fair, if any of us were offered to make a Netflix movie, we'd be like, yeah,
I'd take it up immediately without like.
But then I think I would question some of the stuff in the script when it goes like, hey, but it's telling me I shouldn't have TikTok followers and I shouldn't do brand deals. I feel like I would mention that to someone, and who knows, maybe she did.
I don't know.
Maybe she tried to He's All That this movie.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to make some. I could have made a lot of mean jokes to Addison Rae just then in that little bit, but I'm not going to. I'm sure she's a very competent person.
Well, no, I think it's undeniable that she does have comedy, I assume, for music, and like to be that popular on TikTok, I think you've got to be a little bit business minded.
Yeah, for sure.
But just not acting, please, Addison.
Or go to a couple more classes.
Yeah. Maybe ask your buddy James Buchanan to.
So
wait, is his name actually James Buchanan? No, it's Tanner Buchanan. I got confused because James Buchanan Barnes is a popular superhero.
Who's that? I'm kidding. Anyways, if you had to rate this movie out of 10, what would you give it?
1.5.
1 point. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. 1.5 out of 10. Maybe I'll give it a 2.5. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 10.
What would you give it after it's been all thatted?
Oh, it's a 6 out of 10.
I was thinking 6 as well, because I don't dislike a good like Disney Channel movie, and this is what this is trying to be, I think.
Right. I feel like at its best, a Disney Channel movie can get up to like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Unless it's High School Musical 2, then it's 10 out of 10. It's a joke.
Or High School Musical. Well, the High School Musical 3 is not a Disney Channel movie. So
yeah, that's very true. It's a Disney movie. Wow.
Oh, also, it's your birthday today. So everybody that's seeing this, give Dean a
6 day late.
6 day late happy birthday.
Yeah. I was thinking today, because I posted TikTok about it. This is a weird one for me, and I'm sure you got this a few months ago, that this is probably the most amount of people who have ever wished me happy birthday in one day.
Oh yeah. Especially because I got a video. I did one about Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
That has the same birthday as me.
I could have done one about Martin Freeman.
Sure.
He's going to be the next Black Panther. That's a reference to our last episode. If anyone's just thinking that I'm being, you know,
a bad person.
Yeah. But also, I'd want him to be.
Yeah, it's strange how many people wish happy birthday. It's like I feel bad not replying to any of them.
Yeah,
but
and like some of them would say happy birthday and then something a little funny, and I'm like, I want to like that comment, and I'll be like, but I don't want to like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you met any new birthday buddies that have the same birthday as you?
Not yet. Somebody went with basically the same person because my birthday was last Wednesday.
Oh.
And I was like, fair enough. If you want to be the same person as me, then I'll allow it.
Sure, go for it.
I don't know why anyone would.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
We have really all thatted this movie.
This movie is 100% all thatted.
I don't know why this has become a thing, like, throughout this episode.
Well, I'm going to go on a limb and say it's because of the movie we're talking about.
Wait, what movie is that?
He's a.
I thought we were talking about the new Cinderella movie that came out.
Oh, were we supposed to watch that?
That does look like a really bad movie.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch that. Please don't. I don't want to do that one.
I don't want to watch any of these movies we talk about. Do you think I wanted to watch this?
At least you have to pay. At least you have to pay for it.
Yeah, Holmes and Watson is worse.
Holmes and Watson is worse.
Can that be a new segment in our Silver Lining where we both just reaffirm that Holmes and Watson is still the worst movie?
How about we have like a ranking of like if the movie we watched is worse than Holmes and Watson?
Yeah, and so far no movie has been worse.
Maybe we'll get there one day, but I doubt it.
We might talk about Cats. I feel like that's an inevitability, despite your dismissal.
Don't want to do that. All right, so is that it for today?
Yeah.
All right, adios, everybody.
See you later. I just have no energy now after talking about this movie to do.
Well, it's nighttime for you. You got to go to bed soon.
That's true. I've got a very long day tomorrow.
Sleepy Dean. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week when we've got a guest. Wow, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just trying to think about that while still talking. But we will see you next week. Thank you for listening.
All right, adios, everybody.